When I was going through my custody battle, I used to just not understand at all my um, ex-wife because I was scratching and clawing trying to get time with my daughter, to see my daughter, to be a dad, and I felt like everything was questioning me. You know, I was being questioned whether I was, a good person, whether I was a good dad, whether I, you know, um, was, worthy to be in my daughter's life. So time with my daughter was very precious. It was, very high value to me, and I had to work very hard for it. And then it felt like on the other end, um, it felt like her mom didn't care about spending time with her at all. She would, shove her off on other people, on other, you know, into other situations, and I didn't get that, because I would work so hard, especially before we got orders implemented. I would work so hard trying to bargain, scratch, and claw my way into having any time at all. And I was also working any time that I didn't have my daughter. So that time was very prime real estate to me. But what I've come to learn about all of that is, you can be all in on anything, um, or you can be, half in, which is really like not being in at all. Because if you're not all in, you're not in. Because you have to bear some risk for the loss. If you don't bear risk for the loss, you really don't care about it at all. You've got no skin in that game. There's nothing riding on you um, attaining a goal or, um, you know, uh, nurturing a relationship or um, working a job. I remember when I've been landscaping now for it's been about 12 years now. I took a couple year break in the middle of that, but and it's been almost 12 years. And I remember before I got into my foreman position, which I have now, be on a job site, and I wouldn't actually care about the job. I didn't really care whether the yard looked nice. It wasn't at the end of the day my job. My job was to do what I was told, and I was primarily more concerned about having a good time with my coworkers than I was, you know, making a quality service product out of what I was doing. So once I made foreman, suddenly I was responsible. It was my job to care about it. And what's more than that is that if the job didn't look right, if it wasn't if I wasn't aiming for over and above what the job required, then it wasn't going to look good at all because it was clear that I didn't care about it. Um, once you've allowed yourself to cut corners, then eventually you will cut corners, and eventually that will come up. That will be evident. But if you care enough about what you're doing, care enough about the relationships you have, care enough about maintaining the things you're responsible for, that's not gonna be an option for you. And I think that's why it's so important to be all in on something. Whether you feel like it or not, feelings really have nothing to do with this. Um, you have to choose against your feelings. You have to choose against other options that you might have wanted at a different time. And that's important because um, that way you will actually care. You will actually care about what you have. You will value it at a degree that you would not be able to value it any other way. And that will be evident. I remember not being invested in my marriage, the one I have now. Um, I remember to my shame, sitting in the living room with my wife, and she would ask me for something simple like, "Hey, could you grab me a bottle of water from the kitchen?" And I'd sit there and I'd sigh, I'd like a POS, like really, I'm comfortable. I'm sitting down. You gotta be making these, requests of me, asking me for this stuff. Can't you, why are you bothering me? And I had no investment in it. I didn't care about it. My actions showed that. Um, Now, you know, it's a blessing to serve my wife. It's because I care about the relationship. I care about keeping it up, about um, making sure that my wife thrives, that my kids thrive, that I'm providing the type of home for them that they deserve, that it's the next right thing, that whatever I'm doing, it's not just something that I want, that I'm putting myself over them. It's something that I'm putting the family above everything else. And so it's different. It's a different mentality. Um, so I said at the beginning of this that I didn't understand at first my ex-wife, just not being invested in my daughter. Um, I understand that a little bit more now, you know, because I didn't understand what it meant to be all in on a relationship, what it meant to be all in on something. I did in a couple aspects, but I didn't understand that in areas that I should have. So, push your marbles into the middle, burn your ships. Because if you keep other options open, you're going to make choices that bend in other directions than the one that you really care about. So if you really care about something, be all in. Um, say this is for all the marbles. Um, because if it's something good, then it's worth it. And if you want to value it, you want to keep it, then you're going to have to fight for it.